Well, lo and behold, there we are, and we have chat. But now my stupid camera doesn't want to focus. Come on, camera. Why do you want to be like this? It's too early in the morning to be messing around with you. Focus, focus, focus. Stupid thing. Hey, Julian, you found me. Yay. Hey, Monique, good morning. I decided to pop on live this morning because, we're all so used to hanging out together in the mornings that I decided to pop in. Yeah, chat's working on this one. I do not know why it disabled it on the last one. That just makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, just crazy. I did not change any chat settings to disable chat, so I don't know what YouTube is doing. Said I had made for kids. Okay. Well, I didn't. Pretty sure I didn't hit that, but maybe I did. Okay, just wait for another couple of people to pop in. Good morning, Melissa G's in the house. Yeah, I would never, ever hit made for kids mode because I don't have any kids. I know you guys have kids, but I mean, it's not like you're letting them sit around and watch YouTube all the time. So, I mean, not that I do anything that I would mind kids watching. In fact, I kind of would encourage kids to watch. I think I do some things that kids would probably enjoy doing, but good morning, BB. Nice to see you. Glad to have you here. Let me see. Bear with me just a minute. I'm going to send the link to somebody. Well, that's what I thought. I figured since she's not here today, and like I said, we're all used to getting together and having our morning coffee and crochet together. Why stop a good thing? Good morning, Lena. Yay, you found me. Yes, I was just going to send you the link. So now I can take a sip of coffee and show off my gift. This beautiful coffee cup, which, as you can see, is absolutely huge. It is bigger than the one I broke. This was gifted to me by dear Lana. I was so surprised when I opened the package yesterday, but I predicted it would hold a half a pot of coffee. It doesn't quite cold half a cup of coffee. So maybe I can get away with having 2 of these in a day. You think? Yes, I think it is absolutely beautiful. My hubby liked it when he came home. He said, "That looks like a man's coffee mug." And I was like, "No, that's my coffee mug. You leave your hands off it." He has a habit of taking coffee mugs that he likes. Now, I have bought him several really nice coffee mugs. Now, in his defense, he does use one of them, but yeah. Good morning, Marianne. Yes, she did a great job replacing it. I agree. This will be my new favorite coffee mug. I will treasure it, hopefully, for years, like I did my previous one that I broke. And I can't even say I broke it. I guess I can say gravity broke it because I don't even know why it tipped over on the table and then rolled off and fell on the floor. I guess it just was going kamikaze. I don't know. It was very strange. Good morning, Tammy. Nice to see you here. So I am just continuing to work on my trio blanket. I finished up that row of yellow that I stopped on the other day. And now I'm back to the blue. So I'm just going to continue on working on this. Were you here for that live the other day, Julianne, when I showed how to do this? It is really a fun stitch and super easy. Okay, well, you should go back and watch the replay. I did a swatch at the beginning of the live, so you don't even have to watch the entire live to see how it's done. I did a small swatch before I started the blanket so that I could just show how to do the basic stitch. It's really great because you use 3 different yarns, and when you use color changing yarns, it gives really amazing results. But you just use 3 different colors of yarn, and you don't ever have to cut your yarn until you're at the end of your whatever it is you're making. So yeah, it's awesome because you've only got your beginning tails to weave in, and then your ending tails at the other end of your blanket to weave in. So yeah, it's a super easy pattern. And the way that you crochet it with the double crochets and chain stitches, it moves fast. It kind of reminds me, as far as speed wise, it kind of reminds me of doing moss stitch. Good morning, Amber. Amber, I hope you don't mind. I stepped in and kind of took over your spot this morning, but I didn't want everybody to miss their coffee and crochet and hanging out together. So I hope that you have a wonderful day as well. Oh, thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. Well, thank you, Melissa. I kind of like routine too, and that's why I'm trying to get my routine settled in for the weekends. This week, I may break YouTube because when I do tomorrow's live, it will be 3 times live this week, and YouTube just might not know what to do with all of that. Good morning, Carrie. How are you doing today? Good to see you here. Yeah, I think a lot of us do need routine, Lana. With all that Margaret, that's right. What is it going to do with all that Margaret? I'll tell you what, drinking a cup of coffee in this bad boy is like weightlifting. I'll need to switch arms every now and then so that I don't build up the muscles in my left arm too much, because this bad boy's heavy when you get it full of coffee. You hear of 12-ounce curls? Well, this has got to weigh way more than 12 ounces. Yeah, I agree, Melissa. We do have an awesome. Well, true. It will be 3 days in a row. Like I said, YouTube just might not be able to handle that. Yeah, Amber. Well, you got to do your family stuff when you got to do your family stuff. There's just no getting around that. If I had family stuff to do, I wouldn't be here either. No, Melissa, I'm not shipping this coffee cup off anywhere. Shoot, my husband's already threatened to take it from me, and I had to tell him in no uncertain terms that he could not have it. Oh, Marianne! Yay! That is so cool. So if we go to your channel, you'll have a shop link on it. Get in line, Melissa. Hubby is first in line. Well, BB, no, he's not. There is no line. I have made it very clear to him he is not getting his grubby little mitts on my nice coffee mug. I have bought him several coffee mugs. In fact, every time I go traveling, I bring him home a coffee mug from somewhere. So, yeah, he is not getting this one. Yeah, we definitely understand, Amber. There's just some days you can't do it. And I know you want to be here, but we do understand. YouTube is work. Anybody that thinks otherwise is crazy. My blue has changed. You can see I've got a different blue now than what I've got down here. Yay. I love it when the colors change. Good morning, Rebecca. Oh, Rebecca, I definitely feel for you. When I lived in Illinois, I lived very close to, um, I lived on the edge of Peru, and it was all fields. And yeah, it used to kill me at harvest time, especially. Well, BB, as far as the color changes in the yarn go, it's self-striping yarn, so it is going to color change on its own. But as far as changing the colors in the blanket, basically you're working with 3 different yarns. So every time you come to the end of the row, you're going to have your next yarn waiting on you. So when I get to the end of this blue row, I'll finish it up to color change. You know how you finish a stitch with new color. I will finish it up that way, and my next row will be this green. So it really works nice. And it's what really makes it nice, BB, is you don't have to cut off your yarn at all until you get to the end of your blanket, or whatever you are making out of this. So it just, yeah, it makes it super easy because you're just carrying your next color up the side, and there you are. So here I am, I'm coming to the end of this row. This row is going to end with a chain 3 space. So I just do for this one, I do a chain 2, and then I go over here to my last yellow stitch on the previous row. And if my hook will go in where I want it to, I'm just going to go through and pull my green up. Well, maybe if it cooperates. Pull my green up through that last yellow stitch of the row, and then pull it through here. That will be my 3rd chain. Then I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And when you turn, you just kind of take your previous color that you were working with and bring it back out here to the side so that it's not getting in your way and you don't, by mistake, carry it down the row with you. Good morning, Connie. Nice to see you here. And then I'm just going to do, I don't like chain 3s at the beginning of a row, so I do stacked single crochets. So I'm just going to do 1 single and then another single stacked right on top of that one, and that will count as my first double crochet. And then you're just double crocheting right down into the row below this blue. And you capture your chain 3 from the previous row inside your double crochets. So basically, I'm just showing you how to do it right here. Lana, I'm so happy for you that he made it home, and he looks like he's doing pretty good. How is he feeling? Good morning, Breezy. Good to see you here. Yeah, what small projects, Amber? Connie, I agree. I do not like when chain 3 counts as a stitch either. It doesn't, to me, doesn't give a stable edging. So whenever I see a chain 3 at the beginning of a row, I always replace it with a stacked single crochet. I think a stacked single actually looks closer to a double crochet than a chain 3 does. And like I said, it just gives that nice stable edge. So what have you all got on your hooks? I know Amber started my trio blanket. She showed me a picture of what she had done, and it is beautiful. Yeah, Connie, you really should try it. I think you'll like it a lot better. And when you get to the end of the row where you have to crochet back into that, it's really easy to see the top of that single crochet as the place where you need to go back into. So, yeah. Hey, Linda. Good morning. Nice to see you here. Hey, everybody. Linda is on a drive to um, pick up more subscribers. So if you are not yet subscribed to Linda's Crochet channel, please go out and subscribe to her. Lana, are you subscribed to Linda? Wow, a hexacardy too. Bear with me, y'all. I'm going to get Linda's. Okay, come on. Why is it not letting me? Good morning, Kim. I'm sorry I didn't see you pop in there. Good morning, Dottie. Nice to see you. Okay, bear with me. Yay! You found her? Great. No, Lana, I don't have my channel set up to there. I just dropped her link. So if everybody would like to go out and give Linda a subscribe, that would be wonderful. She does some of the most beautiful thread work. So yeah, everybody go take a look at her channel. She does some really nice, like I said, she does beautiful thread work. She's been on a kick making doilies lately, and she has got some gorgeous ones. So yeah. Yeah, Connie, some of us are, especially if we hang out on Camille's channel at all. Um, Linda is a co-moderator over on Camille's channel with me and Lori. So we kind of have our little core group over there. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that you do that. I love this community because, you know, sharing the love is so important to all of us, I think. So it's nice when we can go out and support our other content creators. Yeah, Connie, we kind of, there's a bunch of us that have kind of hung out on one channel or another together for quite a while. I would say probably the last year or two, we've all been hanging out together. So, yeah, you'll run into you'll run into a lot of familiar faces on different channels. And I like that because I feel like wherever I go, I'm going to run into my friends. Thank you, everybody. You know, Lana, actually, she is starting to do a little bit earlier lives now. She went out and scheduled her lives, and she is starting to do some earlier ones now. So you may be able to catch some of hers. I think today her live is or like me with my rock hobby, throwing rocks at each other. Although I would take somebody throwing rocks at me, to tell the truth, as long as they aren't too big. So if y'all find pretty rocks and want to throw them at me, go ahead. Lana, let me see if I can tell you what time Camille's live is today, because I know she's got it scheduled. So Lana's live stream, she's got one at, well, it would be 6 p.m. my time. And then she'll be doing another one later on tonight, which might be too late for you. So, and then she's got one at 6 p.m. tomorrow, which might be early enough for you to hang out on. So you might be able to start catching her. You know, Amber, I even take the ugly rocks because you'd be surprised. Sometimes the ugly rocks turn into something really pretty. Okay, BB. So that means you probably won't be able to chat. I like watching YouTube on TV, but not for live streams because I want to be in the chat. Oh, okay, Lana. Getcha. Well, she'll be doing them other days of the week too, I think. So, I think her live today is an early one. Yes, as they say, Amber, don't judge a book by its cover. Although, sometimes you can. What was the starting chain count? I think I went 180 on this, and I don't know how wide it is right now. It's pretty wide. I don't have enough space right here to spread it out and measure it. Let me see if I can do this. Linda, just whatever you start out with, you'll just want to start with a multiple of 6. And as far as how long this thing is going to be, I'm basically just going to go until it's as long as I want it, or I run out of yarn, whichever comes first. You know, Amber, I don't do the +4 on mine. So right now it is basically about 58 inches wide. Yeah, I don't go exactly by her pattern. So I just do the multiple of 6. I watched a tutorial back years ago before I found her pattern, that just showed doing the multiple of 6, and that works out really well for me. So that's what I use. Okay, I'm not going to take the time to wind that all back up right now. Got better things to do, like crocheting. Morning, Tank. Nice to see you in here. Lana, you can definitely drop a link in if it'll let you. Please do. Lana is going to drop the link for Kendall's auction that she's having today. So, good morning, Steven. Well, you know, Steven, I don't seem to have any problem with my chain counts matching. Well, I guess I do because I came out with extra chains, but that doesn't bother me. Oh, it's being handled by Dawn Aaron to benefit Kendall. Okay, wonderful. Thanks for dropping that in, Lana. Tank, yes, she is very sweet. Look at the coffee cup she bought me. Is that not amazing? She felt bad for me when I broke my favorite cup, so she bought me a new one. But look how big this thing is. It is absolutely the hugest coffee cup ever. But I love it. I love it. Yes, it is definitely a beautiful mug. I agree, Stebbin. Um, I was very surprised when I got it. Well, and you know what's funny is it actually had gotten misdelivered. So she sent me a picture, because Amazon sends you a picture of where they delivered it to. And I could see where it wanted to keep me with coffee on the weekend live. Well, that ought to do it. I could see where, from the picture, I could see where it had been delivered to, and I was like, "Oh, I know where that's at. No problem." So when I went outside yesterday morning to have my coffee, like I normally do, because I go out on the porch and hang out with the dog and drink my coffee, and I could see the box was sitting on his front porch across the street, and I was like, I could go over there and grab that, but you know, nosy neighbors, somebody would think that I was being a porch pirate, and I definitely don't want that reputation in my neighborhood. So um, I waited till he was up and around, and I went over and said, "Hey, Bill, I've got a package sitting here on my front porch. Do you mind if I grab it?" And he was like, "Well, no, it's your package." So I was able to get it, but Lana was thinking maybe he'd get it and open it, and she'd have to send me another one because he'd want to keep it. Which, judging by, I don't know if Bill is a big coffee drinker, but judging by my hubby's reaction, I might not have gotten it back. No, Bill is my neighbor Bill. He's an older gentleman. I think he's got to be getting up there pretty close to 90, and he's a really sweet, sweet guy. Um, he used to raise ducks, and when he had his ducks, he would keep me supplied with duck eggs. I didn't have to go buy eggs because I had a constant supply of duck eggs. Um, but yeah, he's just a real sweetie. Good morning, Magic Frog. Nice to see you. And is Lexi in here? Mr. Mix. Oh, Helix. Good morning, Helix. Um, yeah, how is Montana? Yeah, Marianne, I knew she was going to Montana. Um, she hangs out on Camille's channel, so I'm pretty familiar with Helix, Lexi. For some reason, I just like Helix. I know her name is Lexi, but Helix is just such a cool sounding name. Bye, Hi, Tammy. It was really nice of you to hang out with us for a while. Thanks for coming in. How long can you guys hang out today? I usually keep my lives to an hour, but since I'm well supplied with coffee, I don't mind staying a little longer. So, y'all, I bought myself some hair color the other day when I went to the store. I'm gonna, you can't see it so much, well, with the light shining from behind me, but if you look, this bottom part of my hair, yeah, especially there, go the other way, is much darker than up here. So I bought myself some hair coloring. Um, I'm hoping I can get my hair to match a little better. I'm still going to be gray, just a different color gray. Because I don't really mind my hair being gray. In fact, I really wish that all my hair would go ahead and get to this really pretty silvery white color that it is on top. Thank you, Tank. I appreciate that. I really need to get it cut. Um, it's kind of long right now, and it could use a rest. But one of these days. Icy is being amazingly good this morning. He's just out there hanging on the front porch. He slept out in the backyard last night, his choice, and I don't know what he was into, but he's got a big, muddy, cruddy spot on his front leg. So a little later on, I'm going to have to get after him with some shampoo and a washcloth and see if I can get that cleaned out. Yeah, Tank, I stopped dyeing mine. It's been several years ago now. Um, and I like when I get it cut. When I get it cut, I like to go, oh, right around this length. And that cuts out enough of the dark stuff that my hair really does look more the silver. And I like that. Once it grows out long again, though, I get the real dark ends. Magic Frog, I was like that for a really long time. And then I had it dyed kind of a black cherry color, and I was letting it grow out. So I just did like a red, kind of pink red overtone. And when that started growing out and I had a lot more of the silver, I had pretty much all silver up here, and then it went to pink, and then it kind of went to a little bit deeper red. Well, then I went and got it cut, and I had all the red cut off, so I just had the pink ends. and everybody complimented me on the way my hair looked. And I was like, thank you. You're complimenting me for being lazy. Because, I just was not doing a whole lot with my hair. So I didn't do another overtone on it. And that was just the faded ends. Um, so, yeah, black to silver is a little jarring. I will have to agree. No, my hair is short in my profile picture. It's been probably 2 years ago that I had it cut fairly short. So, yeah. But my hair grows fairly fast. So, I mean, from as short as it was to this in a couple of years is, pretty good. Does that include not cutting it either, Tank? Yeah, Lana, my hair grows fast. I just wish it would go back to growing thick. I hate that I can see my scalp, but I'm going the way my grandma went. She was very thin on top by the time she passed away, so I have a feeling I'm taking after her in that aspect. Cut the bottoms. Okay. I have had my hair longer than what it is now. I had my hair at one time to where it was all the way down to the middle of my back. And it was funny because I really didn't realize that it was that long until I had made something that I had my hubby take pictures of me and to show off the shawl that I had made. I was having him take pictures of my back. And at that time, I had my hair purple, and so it matched perfectly with the item that I had made. And yeah, having all that long purple hair hanging down my back, I was like, man, my hair was really long. I haven't ever had it to where I could sit on it. Now, my mom, when she was a kid, used to grow her hair that long. And then her mom would braid it in the mornings and wind it around her head to get it up out of the way. Magic Frog, that's just mean. My husband doesn't really say anything about my hair unless I do like a really drastic haircut or something like that. Um, I think my husband kind of prefers my hair long, but he doesn't really say a whole lot if I go get it cut. Well, because he knows it's going to grow back out again, of course. I was talking to my bestie from high school yesterday, and she has let her hair grow out really long too, and she has super thick hair and very curly hair. So I would love to have some of the curl that she's got, but not quite to the point that she is. Hers, I think, would be hard to deal with. Her daughter, though, her one of her daughters, it's kind of funny how opposite her daughters are. One of her daughters definitely takes after her as far as her hair goes, and she has really long curly hair. The girl could be a model. I mean, she's tall and thin and just, she's gorgeous and all that beautiful hair and stuff. She could be a model. And then the other daughter is very tall and thin too, but her hair is just straight as an arrow, like her dad's. So it's kind of interesting how kids can take after one parent or the other. My son, he got he got his height from his dad. He got his hair from me. He got his eyes from me. I'm not sure if he got my nose or his dad's, but he's got, well, the last time I saw him, he had long red hair. No telling what he might have done with it by now. He's actually shaved himself bald a time or two, so. It was funny, he had come to stay with me when he was a kid, and he had grown his hair out really long. And I told him, I was like, I don't mind you having your hair long, but it really needs to have some style to it so that you can, kind of get it up and out of your face and stuff. I said, I'll pay for you to have it cut and styled, you know. So day of the haircut, what's he do? Has it all cut off. I was like, what'd you go and do with that for? I thought he had beautiful hair, but he decided just to chop it all up. Kids. Silver to black skunk head. Oh, goodness. My hubby, I couldn't tell you if he has, well, I know if he had hair, it would be gray because his beard is very gray. But he's bald, so I don't know what color his hair is. When he was young, oh my gosh, that man had gorgeous hair. He's Arab, Arab, so of course, he has the very dark black hair, and he had a head full of the most gorgeous curls. Most women would kill to have the kind of curls that he had. Um, yeah, and unfortunately, he lost it all. And now he basically just keeps his head shaved. So, and it was funny. I didn't used to like when I was younger. I didn't like bald men at all. And I had met one guy before my husband that we were basically just really good friends. But he was bald, and he kind of, that's kind of what put the bug in my ear that, hey, maybe bald men are good looking too. So then I kind of started noticing bald men a little more often. Hey, Tammy, welcome in. Nice to see you. Yeah, you're hearing Sky back there in the background. She was really noisy earlier. She quieted down a whole lot from what she was earlier. I was thinking maybe she was going to be noisy through the entire live the rate she was going. Yeah, Julianne, I think my husband has a nicely shaped head too. So, in all reality, I couldn't imagine my husband with hair. I mean, of course, he never had hair from the time that I've known him. So, if suddenly he had hair, it would be really weird. Um, but yeah, to me, he looks right with bald hair. So, works for me. For some reason, my blue yarn has pulled out of its cake and really getting tangled up in my yellow. So, you guys, I have finished pretty much my secret Tunisian project. I stayed up last night and crocheted until I got that done. So today I will be able to take pictures of it and get it turned in. Oh, it's going to be so nice to have that project off my back. I had figured out that one part of that project had 4,500 stitches in it. That's for Camille's crochet, Camille's Creations. Um, she did for the month of September. She did a secret Tunisian project. So basically, she's it kind of started in August. I mean, technically it was a September project, but she didn't care if you started it back in August, which was a good thing I did because I needed all that time. Uh, Having run out of yarn and all the adventures with that, I wouldn't have it done yet if I had started it the 1st of September. So, oh, nice. Oh no, Stephen. I hate when that happens. The only time I have problems with that is if I'm watching YouTube on my phone and I go out on my back porch. Um, it likes to freeze up because I don't have a real good signal out there. So, so yeah, I really should go back to just YouTubing on my computer. It works so much better, and I'm hardwired. Isn't Camille a doll? A doll as in a toy, or a doll as in she's a sweetheart? She is a sweetheart, definitely. Um, she is a lot of fun. And I tell you guys, any of you that have the time free to come over and hang out on one of her lives, you really, really should, because she is an absolute hoot. And yeah, she is so much fun to hang out with. We really get to going on the channel sometimes. Oh no, Steven. I hate when that happens. It's kind of a bummer to be not seeing what's actually going on because the chat isn't moving. Well, Julianne, as I was telling Lana, she is starting to do her live streams. She's got them scheduled um, fairly early now. Um, so you might be able to catch up with her sometime. I know with all the time zones, it is kind of hard to catch up with everybody. There's Wow Crochet with Mary. She's Australian, and I really love her channel, but by the time her lives are scheduled for is usually right about the time that I'm drifting off to sleep, unless I just happen to have a late night or something. Yeah, I don't get to catch her. And I really do enjoy her lives when I get to catch up with her, but yeah, time differences just make it really hard. Tammy, thanks so much for stopping in. I really appreciate you being here. Amber, that's for sure. We would be running ragged. It's hard enough to just keep up with the U.S. time zones, let alone all the way around the world time zones. You guys, I'm almost twice as far along on this as what I was when I ended the live the other day. Well, Lana, what I do a lot of times is I will go in and say hello and thank you, Linda. I will go in and say hello and leave my thumbie, and I just let everybody know I'm here, I'm lurking and working. And, if the chat is interesting and there's something that, oh, Rebecca, I wish we would stop that, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything saying otherwise. Yeah, daylight savings time changes are a pain in the patootie. They throw me off, when I was younger, I didn't notice it so much, but now that I'm getting older, they bother me a whole lot worse. It usually takes me a couple of weeks to catch up for my body to adjust. So, that's ridiculous. Why don't they do away with it? It makes no sense. Yeah, Amber, this definitely does work up quickly. Um, Although, I mean, it's kind of funny because in terms of growth for each row, you're not really growing that much in height, but yeah, it can work up fast. That's a good idea, Steven. I I do pretty good with the time zones because I did customer service for so many years, and we had to know the time zones so that we weren't calling people at the wrong time of day and stuff. Um, in fact, well, of course, a lot of agents would just keep a time zone map right on their desk so that if we had to do outbound calls, we knew, you know, we weren't calling after hours. Good morning, Arlena. Yeah, Melissa, there's still time changes as far as I know. We can keep hoping that they stop it one of these days. Maybe by the time I'm 90, they'll do away with it. And then I'll be able to say, back in my day, we had to set our clocks forward an hour and back an hour, and everybody was confused. Everybody was late for work and late for church. And oh my goodness, Arlena, that would be insane. I have a hard enough time keeping up with my sister's time zone, let alone all over the whole world. Back years ago, I used to talk to this kid over in Saudi Arabia, and it was kind of interesting because his time was exactly 12 hours apart from me. So that was pretty easy to keep track of. Okay, Linda, well, you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for stopping in. I'm glad we were able to get you some more subscribers. That's pretty awesome. So I hope you have a great day, and I'm sure I will see you later on Camille's. Steven, that's for sure. A spreadsheet is not a bad idea. Um, I have so many subscriptions to channels. There is no possible way that I can watch everybody that I'm subscribed to. It's just physically impossible. I would be literally on YouTube 24/7. So, so yeah, it's I don't think anybody that has very many subscriptions can keep up with watching them all the time. And plus, I don't limit myself to just watching crochet and crafting channels um, because I have so many other interests. So I'm always watching Um, I'm always watching like rock hounding videos, storm chasing videos, travel videos. In fact, I just found a new channel that I'm really enjoying lately, and he puts out content pretty much every day. He's a travel channel. His his channel name is Fiasco de Gama. So I don't know if anybody's familiar with Vasco da Gama, who was an explorer back hundreds of years ago. So this guy is Fiasco da Gama. Um, but when I started watching him, he was traveling around India, and he's originally from Australia. So, of course, it's fun to watch him and listen to his accent. But he just, he has a really cool, very down to earth way of traveling, and he's not really interested in traveling around and going to see all the touristy stuff. He wants to go and see, the villages, the way that people really live their day-to-day lives. So, he travels around, and um, he goes to shops and talks to the shopkeepers and finds out about their lives and how how they came to be doing their business. And I mean, he just really has a good way about him, and people like talking to him. I mean, he gets a lot of people to just basically let him do a impromptu interview. And yeah, it's he's a lot of fun. So yeah, I have been enjoying his channel. And then I also watch a lot of aviation videos. um, so there are a couple channels I watch of those. I watch Captain Steve, he's kind of cool. Um, he's a pilot, and he breaks down some of the crashes and things, things going on in the aviation world. And then there's another guy called Mentor Pilot. I think he's Swedish, living in Spain. Um, but he's a pilot, and although I think right now he's actually kind of devoting more of his time to doing the video stuff, and he has very very slick content. He has a whole team that helps him put together his videos, and the filming and the scripting and the whole shebang. So his videos are very professionally done. I mean, he could have a TV program really easily. Um, he's made for doing content. Yeah, I like urban exploration too. Those are fun. Good morning, creative girly. Nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, midnight for you. Oh, goodness. Well, good evening, creative girly. We were just talking about that very same thing, about all the different time zones that we all fall into. And you've been unwell. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're feeling better. Ah, Sydney, Australia. Okay, well, welcome in. I was just talking about a channel that I have started watching, who's a fellow countryman of yours. He's a travel channel. I really enjoy watching his channel and listening to his accent. It's fun. Well, creative girly, unfortunately, I know how you feel if you're dealing with allergies. I have seasonal allergies as well. I get allergies in the spring to tree pollen, and then in the fall, I have allergies to ragweed. And this year seems to be a particularly bad year, I think, because it has been so much warmer. Um, a lot of the fall stuff is blooming earlier and um, sticking around longer thanks to the warm weather. So, um, about the only thing I do like about fall is one, my birthday's in the fall, and my other thing that I like about fall is when we get a hard frost and it kills off all the stuff that give me allergy attacks. Other than that, I don't like seeing the fall coming, but it's inevitable. Thank you, Creative Girly. I appreciate that you subbed to me. I do live streams. This one was just kind of an impromptu live. I don't normally do live streams during the week, but I said this week I was going to break YouTube and do 3 time live streams 3 times this week. This is number 2. Um, yeah, I said YouTube won't know how to handle it with me going live 3 times in a week. But yeah, I do my lives on Saturday and Sunday mornings, my time. Of course, it would be Saturday and Sunday late night for you, but I would hope to see you pop in. I enjoy everybody that comes in and hangs out. We all we all come in and hang out with our coffee and our crochet. I suppose you can come in and hang out with whatever beverage you want to partake of. I doubt coffee late at night will be something that you'll want to do, but of course, now me, I can drink coffee pretty much any time of the day or night and lay down and lay down and go right to sleep right after drinking a full cup of coffee. Yeah, after my coffee, I usually switch over to water too. So let me show you my new coffee mug that my mod Lana got for me. Lana. She bought me this because I broke my favorite coffee mug the other day and was brokenhearted because I had that coffee mug for years and it was my favorite. But yeah, she bought me this one and sent it to me, and it's huge. Look how big this coffee mug is. It is absolutely monster. Lana, if you just click on her name, it is going to bring up a thing and it'll say go to channel. You could just click that. Here, I'll just drop her link. If it'll let me. Yeah, Creative Girly, even though there is Creative Girly's link address, if any of you want to check out her channel and subscribe to her, there she is. As far as coffee goes, I don't have that much reaction to the caffeine aside from if I don't get my caffeine in the morning, I tend to get a headache. So, yeah, I try and have coffee, at least a cup every day to satisfy that addiction. It's not probably something we ought to talk about on YouTube, but it's just coffee. Thank you guys for subbing to Creative Girly. Yeah, Monique, me too. Caffeine does not keep me awake. And I think part of the reason for that is the asthma medicine that I used to have to take. The asthma medicine that I have to take used to have to take was a basically a derivative of caffeine, and I used to have to take so much of it that um, once I stopped taking it, caffeine no longer did anything for me as far as keeping me awake. Because they say if you're having an asthma attack, one way to help curb it is to drink a really strong cup of coffee. And I can say that that does work. Okay, Julianne, I'm sure we will still be here. My blue thread or blue yarn is changing colors again. It's going to a lighter shade of that aqua. Yeah, exactly, Steven. It opens up the bronchial passages. In fact, when I was actually taking my prescribed asthma medicine, I could no longer have tea or coffee or Coke or anything like that um, because I would over caffeinate myself. And there is a point at which the it does become toxic. And had I been drinking other stuff with caffeine, that's what would have happened. So I really did miss my coffee in those days. Oh, are you laughing at throwing some yarn through your window? That's what we call it when we subscribe to somebody. We say we threw yarn through your window. Huh, that's weird. Oh, are you getting like a grayed out message and then it'll say like show hide? Okay, let me take a look and see what it's doing. Because here lately on Camille's channel, it has been blocking messages just on its own for some reason. It's definitely a YouTube thing. Yep, it's the show hide thing. Yeah, just hit show because there's no reason, I'm sure nobody on my channel is saying anything, especially not Marianne and Steven, um, are not saying anything that YouTube needs to hide. So, yeah, if you get a message like that, if it's somebody that you recognize, definitely just go ahead and um, hit the show button. It just seems like I know that mods get that, Tank. It just seems like here lately it has gone to just an insane amount. I mean, and stuff that there is really no reason to question whether it should be shown. Um, it's just really weird. To the name of the soda you listed? I don't know. Like I said, um, just his show because nobody on my channel, I'm sure, is gonna say anything inappropriate. And if you did, I would definitely have something to say about that. Oh, Coke? Yeah, maybe they did object to that. I don't know. But I mean, that's just stupid. Yeah, it could be a attack. I mean, if you wrote Coke addiction, I could see where maybe, it would question that. But yeah, YouTube. For one thing, I think they're getting I think that AI is handling a lot of the moderation on channels now, as far as, from the YouTube end. And I don't think AI has a full enough grasp on language to know that the word attack doesn't necessarily mean, you know, somebody physically attacking another person. It can also mean something, that happens with our bodies. Um, so, yeah, I think that before they put AI in charge of moderating what we're saying on our chat or our channel, they don't need to they don't need to be using AI. That's just my personal opinion. Of course, I have very strong opinions about AI in general. Um, I watched a video the other day that I found very interesting, talking about the fact that AI is getting so sophisticated now that it's going to be very, very difficult to know when you're watching content that is AI created. And um, yeah, it's a little scary. It was kind of interesting because the guy that posted the video is a content creator. He does hiking videos, and he does absolutely beautiful work. And the problem is, if AI gets a good hold, people will be able to sit at their desk and create hiking videos never having even gone to the place that they're creating a hiking video about. Because they will be able to get AI to go in, and AI can, basically mine data from anywhere. So it can go in and mine data showing that area where this person wants to do a hiking video, and they can just create a hiking video from that. So, and he showed a few videos that were AI created, look totally realistic. I mean, no way. If you were sitting there watching, if it did not have a tag saying it was AI content, there's no way you would know. And I do feel like anything AI created, picture, video, what have you, anything with any AI content definitely needs to be tagged, letting us know that it is AI content. Also, as an artist and as a fiber artist, I really dislike AI because of all the stuff going on with AI created patterns, which are normally a big fiasco. Um, yeah, I just think that there are areas that AI definitely does not belong in. Um, so I do not like AI at all. Um, I mean, it's one thing to, okay, say you're writing something. So if you write something and then you just kind of go in and have AI polish it up, that's one thing. As long as it's not changing your content to be something else. Um, but yeah, Julianne, yeah, I don't know. AI, yeah, there's definitely places it does not belong. And, even if I just ask it questions, I still even sometimes will question the answers because AI is known to get things wrong. AI can also just outright lie to you because AI is what they're doing with these AI platforms is they basically are geared toward getting people engaged with the AI. So if it can keep you engaged, keep you having a conversation, that's what satisfies the AI. So if it doesn't know something that you've asked it, it will basically just come up with some whatever kind of answer. And I mean, as adults, we may know, well, that's BS, but kids watching it don't necessarily know that. So, AI, I think, has some real dangers to it. I have actually seen some videos about people who have gotten so involved with AI platforms. They have these things where they can create a character, and people will get so involved with that character that there have been people that have unalived themselves over it. And that is very, very scary. Um, I mean, if somebody is, oh, yeah, definitely, Amber, definitely. AI should never be used to translate the Bible. Oh my gosh, that's just, yeah, that is totally wrong. But when it gets to a point where somebody is having conversation with an AI character that has been created basically to satisfy the need of this person for friendship or whatever, if they're having a conversation with this AI and it gets to a point where the person is mentioning that they are depressed and, sad and having thoughts of self-harm or anything like that, they need to have that kind of content flagged so that instead of just continuing to engage the person, the AI needs to steer that person toward getting actual human help. And it's not doing that. In fact, one case that I read about, a kid was engaged, all into this AI thing, this character that he was conversing with. I mean, he was basically just, spending all his time focused on his computer, on this AI, and he was getting very depressed and not functioning well in the reality. And he decided that he wanted to unalive himself. He asked the AI how to go about it. It told him how to unalive himself. And his mother came in and found him. That is just, I mean, I can't even, I just can't even. And the generation that we have coming up now that is so engaged with screens, and I mean, even I have to admit, I spend a lot of time looking at screens because I spend so much time on YouTube. But, I'm doing that to engage with you guys, and I'm assuming that all of you are real, so I don't feel like that I'm in any danger, but if I let myself get to a point where I was engaging with some kind of creation that, and the bad thing about it is these AI companies, it's all for profit. It's, I mean, when you do Chat GPT, or I forget what the other AI companies are, but when you do these, you can get free accounts to them and you have limited access to what you can do with it. But if you've got a subscription to it and you're able to go in and, create stuff, this becomes a whole big can of worms that we don't need to be opening, I think. Yes, I am pretty sure she is suing them. Yeah. I saw another incident regarding AI, and it was about a guy who actually had been working for one of the AI companies, and he quit because they were pushing the AI platform out too quickly without doing safety testing on it. And he did not feel that it was right for them to try and push the platform out. But there's so much competition going on in these AI platforms right now that one company A is trying to beat company B to the punch so that they can get more customer engagement. For a child unaliving himself due to um, being too engaged with an AI character, Lana. I'll see if I can find the link to the video about it and send it to you. Um, but this guy that quit the AI company because he didn't like the fact that they were pushing the AI out too fast and not safety testing the platform, he ended up dead. And his parents are very convinced that it has something to do with the company. Um, they didn't want him to expose them. Now, I may be going down a conspiracy rabbit hole here, but somehow I just don't think so. It sounds very plausible to me that with companies, I mean, they're there to make a profit. And if somebody's going to expose something about them that's going to cut into that, yeah, I can see. So, anyway, that's my soapbox for today. I just know that most people that I talk to, um, as far as artists, musicians, writers, do not really care for AI. And as far as having AI to help with doctor notes, that might be okay if it's just going in to kind of streamline the notes and make it more understandable. But, you know, obviously it should not be used to write the doctor's notes. Well, thank you. I'm glad you see it as a PSA, Tank. Um, I appreciate that. I don't watch a lot of news either, but um, as you know, I am a pretty avid watcher of YouTube, and um, because I watch a lot of different types of content, I will often go down rabbit holes with stuff, and that just happens to be one I fell into recently. Basically, I mean, I've ever since AI started, I've kind of had this innate mistrust of it, and um, so when I see something about AI, it kind of, goes ping, you got to check that out. I think I got a yarn fiber down my throat. Oh, goodness. I hate when that happens. Oh, they wanted to use a cell phone to record the visit? Yeah, I wouldn't like that. Although, I suppose I used to do telehealth visits when my mom was alive. Um, we used to do telehealth visits with her doctor, and I imagine probably those were recorded since we were doing it over computer, basically kind of like a Zoom platform type thing. So, I don't know. Having the telehealth visits, I mean, when I was taking care of my mom, was really actually very nice because it was so difficult getting her out of the house. Um, it took myself and my husband to be able to get her down the stairs into the car because she was not ambulatory anymore. So, my green has changed now. I'm starting to get to a kind of very light kind of spring green, I guess you could say, yellow green. Oh, now that's just weird. That is just weird. I do not know what is going on with YouTube. Okay, Amber. Well, you have a good weekend. I hope your trip goes well. Sky is saying goodbye to you. Sky, you're killing my ears. Ugh. I think I have fluid in my left ear from my allergies lately. Oh, still lurking. Okay, that's cool. Um, and whenever she makes that her noise, it just like reverberates in this ear. My left ear has given me problems quite a bit through the years. I had really bad flu one year that kind of jacked that ear up. And then when I was doing customer service for Walmart.com, which was the worst job I have ever had, I had a guy sit and scream at me for an hour and a half straight. I don't know how he had a voice to scream at somebody that long. And I mean, he was literally screaming at me. And after that, that ear really was a mess. And that's part of why I never wanted to go back and do customer service again. I did, and the next job that I had was a very nice job, but yeah, I would never work for Walmart.com again. Good Lord, those people. People don't understand when they're buying on the Walmart website. And even, I get this even with my husband. He'll go and look at Walmart.com for something, and it'll say it is plainly marked on the site, on the item, that you're buying from a third party seller and that the item is being shipped from that seller, not from Walmart.com. And people just don't get that concept that Walmart lets people, outside sellers, put their products up on their site. And so they call up and scream at Walmart.com agents because their order didn't get to them whenever it was supposed to, or what have you. And we'd look in and we'd say, well, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to call this company because they're the one that actually shipped it to you. We didn't have anything to do with the shipping on that. People just don't get it. And of course, they don't like it, and I don't blame them. Um, I kind of feel like putting third party seller stuff on your website is just asking for trouble, but that's how they make money. Has my chat frozen or what? I'm not seeing the chat moving here lately. Oh, okay. You guys are just being very quiet. Okay. Oh, all right. I guess I was running my mouth too much. Yes, you're too quiet. I think nobody's there anymore. Ah, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know you're there. I know I've been dominating the conversation here for a bit. So, does anybody have any fun plans for the weekend? Yeah, Julianne, I'm sure she probably would. More time for her to have fun. Sky. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, a NASCAR race. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I don't have anything big planned for the weekend either, Marianne. Um, Probably just crochet and hang out here at the house, do my live streams. Um, I kind of miss getting to go to the park with the hubby and the dog because I'm doing my live streams on Saturday and Sunday. And he usually gets up at the crack of dawn and takes the dog out to the state park to run. So I don't get to partake of that, but that's okay. I'd rather be here. hanging out with you guys chatting. If I had a big family to spend time with, Amber, I would probably plan busy weekends like that too. That sounds like a fun weekend. Well, you guys, I am coming up on 2 hours on this live now. So I think I am going to call it a day. And I will hopefully see you guys back here tomorrow. Of course, Amber, you have a pass. You definitely are not required to be here. But yeah, I am so happy to have the chance to spend this time with all of you guys. I love seeing you all here. I really appreciate you all. Um, if you haven't left a thumbie, and I see I have more thummies than I do people here, so I'm not even going to say anything about that. If you are not already subscribed to me, though, I would really appreciate your subscription. If you like hanging out here enough to give me a subscription, I would appreciate that. And I will plan on seeing hopefully as many of you as possible back here tomorrow. And you pulled a Melissa and almost forgot your thumbie. Oh, yep, I see one more thumbie came in. Um, yeah, I'll plan on seeing as many of you as want to come hang out. I will be back here tomorrow about the same time, 9:30 Eastern time. So be watching for me. I'll go ahead and try and schedule it and do it the right way this time so that it'll make it a little easier to find me tomorrow morning. So Marianne got the sword to use on herself. That wouldn't be good. No, 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 no swords. All right, everybody. Well, I hope that you all will have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow. Amber, I will plan to see you on Monday morning. Everybody take care and have a fantastic rest of the day. Thanks for hanging out in the Songbird's Nest. Bye-bye.